When Jesus heard the news, he went away by boat to a quiet place to be alone. But when the crowds learned where he was, they followed him on foot from the towns. When Jesus got out of the boat and saw the huge crowds, he was full of sympathy for them and healed their sick. As evening came, the disciples went up to him and said, "This place is miles from anywhere, and it's getting late. Send the crowds away so they can go to the villages and buy food for themselves." But Jesus told them, "They don't need to leave. You give them something to eat." "All we have here are 5 loaves and a couple of fish," they replied. "Bring them to me," said Jesus. He told the crowds to sit down on the grass. Then he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, looked up to heaven and blessed them. After that he broke the loaves into pieces and gave the bread to the disciples, and the disciples gave it to the crowds. Everybody ate until they were full. Then they collected up the leftovers, which filled 12 baskets. Some 5,000 men ate the food, not counting women and children. After Paul and Silas had passed through Amphipolis and Apollonia, they arrived at Thessalonica, where there was a Jewish synagogue. As usual, Paul went into the synagogue, and over the course of 3 Sabbaths, he debated with them using the Scriptures. He explained what the Scriptures meant, proving that the Messiah had to die and rise from the dead. "This Jesus I'm telling you about, he is the Messiah," he told them. Some of them were convinced and joined Paul and Silas, along with many Greek-speaking worshippers and some leading women of the town. But the Jews became jealous, and with some rabble-rousers they gathered from the marketplace, they formed a mob. They rioted in the town and attacked Jason's house. They tried to find Paul and Silas so they could bring them before the people. When they couldn't find them, they dragged Jason and some of the other believers before the town leaders, shouting, "These people are famous for causing trouble, turning the world upside down. Now they've come here, and Jason has made them welcome in his house. They all defy Caesar's decrees, committing treason by saying there is another king called Jesus." The people and the leaders of the town were very disturbed when they heard this. So they made Jason and the others post bail before they let them go. The believers had Paul and Silas leave for Berea that very night. When they arrived in Berea, they went to the Jewish synagogue. The people there had a better attitude than those in Thessalonica in that they were very quick to accept the word, and every day they examined the Scriptures to make sure what they were told was right. As a result, many of them became believers, along with some highly placed Greek women and men. But when the Jews in Thessalonica heard that Paul was also spreading the word of God in Berea, they went there and caused the same kind of trouble, stirring up the crowds. Immediately, the believers sent Paul to the coast, while Silas and Timothy remained behind. Those escorting Paul took him as far as Athens, and then returned with instructions from Paul to Silas and Timothy that they should join him there as soon as possible. "God, please vindicate me. Plead my case against an unfaithful nation. Save me from these wicked and dishonest people. For you, God, are my protection. So why have you turned your back on me? Why must I go around weeping because of the attacks of my enemies? Send your light and your truth so they can guide me. Let them lead me to your holy mountain, to the place where you live. I will go to God's altar, to God who makes me truly happy. I will praise you on the harp, God, my God. Why am I so discouraged? Why do I feel so sad? I will hope in God. I will praise him because he is the one who saves me, my God." People who run down their neighbors have no sense. Someone who's sensible keeps quiet. A gossip goes around telling secrets, but trustworthy people keep confidences. A nation falls without good guidance, but they are saved through much wise counsel. You'll get into trouble if you guarantee a stranger's loans. You're far safer if you refuse to make such pledges. The Lord told Moses, "If you sin against the Lord, breaking your commitment to him, then this is what must happen. You may have lied to your neighbor about something you entrusted to them, about some deposit paid, about something that was stolen, or maybe you were trying to cheat them. You may have found property someone lost, and you lied and made false statements about it, or you have sinned in other ways that people do in such situations. If you have sinned and become guilty, you must return what you have stolen or cheated from your victims, the deposit you took, the lost property you found, or anything else that must be given back that you lied about. You must pay full compensation plus a fifth of the value, and give it to the owner as soon as you accept that you are guilty of sin. Then you must take to the priest your guilt offering for the Lord, a ram without defects of the appropriate value from the flock. This is how the priest will make you right before the Lord, and you will be forgiven whatever sins you may have done that you are guilty of. The Lord told Moses, "Give Aaron and his sons these instructions regarding the burnt offering. The burnt offering is to be left on the fireplace of the altar throughout night until morning, and the fire must be kept burning on the altar. The priest shall put on his linen clothes and underwear, and he shall take from the altar the greasy ashes of the burnt offering that the fire has burned up and set them down beside the altar. Then he has to change his clothes and take the ashes outside the camp to a place that's ceremonially clean. The fire on the altar must be kept burning. Don't let it go out. Each morning the priest is to add wood to the fire, carefully place the burnt offering on it, and burn the fat parts of the peace offerings on it. The fire must be kept burning on the altar continually. Don't let it go out. These are the regulations for the grain offering. Aaron's sons are to present it before the Lord, in front of the altar. The priest shall remove a handful of the best flour mixed with olive oil, as well as all the frankincense from the grain offering, and burn the reminder part on the altar to be accepted by the Lord. The rest is for Aaron and his sons to eat. It must be eaten without yeast in a holy place, the courtyard of the tent of meeting. It must not be baked with yeast. I have provided it as their share of my food offerings. It is most holy, just like the sin offering and the guilt offering. Any of Aaron's male descendants may eat it. This is a permanent allowance from the food offerings to the Lord for future generations. Whatever touches them shall become holy. The Lord told Moses, "This is the offering that Aaron and his sons are to present to the Lord when they're anointed, a tenth of an ephah of the best flour as a usual grain offering, half in the morning and half in the evening. Cook it with olive oil on a griddle. Bring it well kneaded and present it as a grain offering broken into pieces to be accepted by the Lord. It is to be cooked by the priest who is one of Aaron's descendants and who is to be anointed to take his place. In this case, since it is permanently allocated to the Lord, it must be burned completely. Every grain offering for a priest is to be burned completely. It must not be eaten. The Lord told Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons that these are the regulations for the sin offering. The sin offering is to be killed where the burnt offering is killed before the Lord, and it is most holy. The priest who offers the sin offering is to eat it. It must be eaten without yeast in a holy place, the courtyard of the tent of meeting. Whatever touches it shall become holy, and if any of the blood is splashed on clothing, you must wash it in a holy place. The clay pot used to boil the sin offering must be broken. If it's boiled in a bronze pot, the pot must be thoroughly cleaned and washed out with water. Any male among the priests may eat it. It is most holy. But no sin offering may be eaten if its blood has been taken into the tent of meeting as a means to make things right in the holy place. In that case, it must be burned. These are the regulations for the guilt offering. It is most holy. The guilt offering is to be killed where the burnt offering is killed, and the priest shall sprinkle its blood on all sides of the altar. All the fat from it shall be offered, the fat tail, the fat that covers the insides, both kidneys with the fat on them by the loins, and the best part of the liver, which the priest is to remove together with the kidneys. He shall burn them on the altar as a food offering to the Lord. It is a guilt offering. Any male among the priests may eat it. It must be eaten in a holy place. It is most holy. The guilt offering is like the sin offering. The regulations are the same for both. The priest who presents the offering that makes things right is to have it. In the case of ordinary burnt offerings, the priest shall have the animal's skin. In the same way, all grain offerings that are baked in an oven or cooked in a pan or on a griddle is for the priest who presents it, and all grain offerings, whether they're mixed with olive oil or dry, they are for all of Aaron's descendants. These are the regulations for the peace offering that you may present to the Lord. If you offer it in a spirit of thanks, then along with the sacrifice of thanksgiving, you must offer bread, wafers, and well-kneaded cakes of the best flour, all made without yeast and mixed or coated with olive oil. In addition to your peace offering of thanksgiving of breads made without yeast, you shall present an offering of breads made with yeast. Present one of each kind of bread of the offering as a contribution to the Lord. It is for the priest who sprinkles the blood of the peace offering. The meat of the sacrifice of your peace offering of thanksgiving must be eaten the same day you offer it. Don't leave any of it until the morning. If the sacrifice you're offering is to pay a vow or a free will offering, it shall be eaten on the day you present your sacrifice, but what's left can be eaten the next day. However, any meat of the sacrifice still remaining on the third day must be burned. If you eat any of the meat from your peace offering on the third day, it won't be accepted. You won't receive credit for offering it. In fact, it will be treated as something disgusting, and anyone who eats it will bear responsibility for their guilt. If this meat touches anything unclean, it must not be eaten. It must be burned. This meat may be eaten by those who are ceremonially clean. If anyone who is unclean eats meat from the peace offering given to the Lord, they must be expelled from their people. Anyone who touches anything unclean, whether it's from a person, an unclean animal, or an unclean, revolting thing, and then eats meat from the peace offering given to the Lord, they must be expelled from their people. The Lord told Moses, "Give these instructions to the Israelites. Tell them, you must not eat any of the fat of a bull, a sheep, or a goat. You can use the fat of an animal found dead or killed by wild beasts for whatever purpose you want, but you must not eat it. Anyone who eats the fat of an animal from a food offering presented to the Lord must be expelled from their people. You must not eat the blood of any bird or animal in any of your homes. Anyone who eats blood must be expelled from their people." The Lord told Moses, "Give these instructions to the Israelites. Tell them that if you present a peace offering to the Lord, you must bring part of it as a special gift to the Lord. You must personally bring the food offerings to the Lord. Bring the fat as well as the breast, and wave the breast as a wave offering before the Lord. The priest shall burn the fat on the altar, but the breast is for Aaron and his sons. Give the right thigh to the priest as a contribution from your peace offering. The priest, as a descendant of Aaron, who offers the blood and fat of the peace offering, has the right thigh as his share. I have required from the Israelites the breast of the wave offering and the contribution of the thigh from their peace offerings, and I have given them to Aaron the priest and his sons as their share from the Israelites for all time. This is the share of the food offerings given to the Lord that belongs to Aaron and his sons since the day they were appointed to serve the Lord as priests. From the time they were anointed, the Lord ordered that this be given them by the sons of Israel. It is their share for future generations. These are the regulations regarding the burnt offering, the grain offering, the sin offering, the guilt offering, the ordination offering, and the peace offering. The Lord gave these to Moses on Mount Sinai at the time he ordered the Israelites to give their offerings to him in the wilderness of Sinai.